Well, welcome back. It's time to assemble. So I've already got a couple bolts in each end. I'm going to tighten those up, and then I'm going to get the board kit, and I'm going to lay the few boards in there to be able to set my little corner channels, see where they're supposed to go. Well, the unboxing of the wood. There they are. It's all oak, and the top and the bottom boards, I can flip them over here on one hand. I've got a ridge on the edge of it, you can see, and that goes on this flat piece here. And yeah, so what we're going to do is slide board in this side and this side so that I can mount my little channels that will bolt into that front piece there, or back piece I guess it is, and then they actually bolt down into the board. But we will get those set first, and then what we're going to do is hang on. Well, we got all the boards laid out. I took the door that was laying here on this sawhorse and set it up off to the side there. But anyway, you get a good idea what we're looking at. And then you've got these metal strips that will set down in between on that recessed area like that. And these are stainless steel. You see, I got a square hole, so these 1/4 inch bolts, cap screws, fit right in there. So that's kind of what it'll look like all the way across. Obviously, you want the bed up in place, I want to say, before you put all that stuff in there, so that, because where these boards come together, I guess it does give you a little bit of a gap. Put that screw down through there, so I guess you won't have to drill through the edges of that board. But anyway, those are things that I'm learning as I'm going. I have never done this before. So, and that one cross member, you can say I took cross members out. I've got those two there. I just set them off the side. But the one that is fastened in place didn't fit with that board underneath it. This is why you pre-assemble. You pre-assemble so that if this was all painted, I would hate that. You know, now I have to go and gouge up the paint in order to make the bracket work. So here's the bracket. And you can see how much it was off. Just a little bit. So I have some bits over here somewhere that will just take and grind that whole oval out a little bit and make that fit. And then I can take those pieces here, and we're going to put these up in the front and mount those. So that's where we're at. Hang on. Well, I found out my boards were about 1.25 inches long. So I just clamped everything together, all 6 of them, and made a cut. I have to do a little sand in here, but anyway, my boards will fit, and I've got to, you can see up here, I've got a couple holes marked, or lines for holes, and that's for these things. But I am not sure exactly how they go. Now, when I took them off the truck, they were get it situated right here. they were like this with the open end in, and those two bowl holes that I marked out are factory, I'm guessing, drilled holes. But yeah, I don't know. You see, it just doesn't sit quite flush. I mean, even with the board in there, that's about how it sit. But I got to do some research on that. I don't want to be drilling holes and stuff. And I mean, I'm pretty confident with the holes, but yeah, that kind of baffles me how it works. But anyway, we're gonna take these apart. I'll do a little sanding, like I said, here on the ends, clean this rough edge up, and put her back together. Well, there you have it. We've got the boards cut and sanded and fitted on the sides. I did have to take this front panel off, so I will have to take it off to put the rest of the boards in, but I just wanted this secure so that I can place this whole thing like this on top of the bed of my truck, my 36. There you have it. We got her down on my little dolly. First time I've had it right side up. So I put a couple bolts in here, just finger tighted them to kind of keep the whole back end stiff. And but yeah, there it is. So now I'm going to get her up on the truck, figure out where that cross member actually goes, and there's another one that goes up front. Do a little sorting, a little looking. I got a bunch of videos, not videos, but pictures of 36 Chevy pickups that were restored, and so I'm going to take a look and see if I can find some shots, underside shots of this bed. But she's together. I'm kind of happy for that. It took me today just a lot more than I was expecting. Yep, got a little bit of a gap there. That side fits pretty nice. I suppose it can be adjusted a little bit. And I don't know if there is something that goes down over that to cover that. I don't know. I have to take a look and see. You almost would think there would be a piece that would run across here on top of the boards, because you can see where that piece, this is fastened onto the bed. Alrighty, thanks for watching. Well, the time has come. You can see I've got the bed in the air and the truck is running. So we're going to be doing some placing of that bed on that frame. And I gotta get some air in that front tire there, but I'll do that, bring it back. Okay, let's see what we can do here. We got to back that up underneath there. I don't know if I got enough clearance. I think I do, so we'll see. This is the first time this truck's had a bed put back on it since I purchased it, and I think it was in either 2010 or 2011. And that was the old bed. And so, like I said, I've got to find out where these front cross members go in place at. There's the back one, and that one's fixed. So, see, I gotta lower it here to get this filler nozzle in that hole. So I'm gonna lower it slowly, and I'll bring you back. Well, it's down in place. Trying to figure out kind of where those cross beams go across. And it's hard. I just figure out what I'm going to have to do is lift it and lower it, because I got to figure out where these holes are. I might be able to lay on my back and look up through there. That's what I'll do. Get a creeper and get underneath it like that. But yeah, she's down over the top of the nozzle, so that's a good. But you can see the front there, there's quite a space in between the bed and the board. So we got to do some deciphering here to figure out what's what. Now those two brackets are two channels that I have that I painted. I've showed you in the other videos. They set right on top of these frame members back here. Well, they bolt into the back of this bed, and then they extend over, and then they bolt through. I saw one of the restored trucks. That's the way it was designed. So that's how that works. Almost looks like the frame is too short, doesn't it? I don't know if it is or not. Could be. But yeah, I'll have to take a look at some of those other pictures, because it does look like it's too short, the frame. I would think that should go all the way to the back of that bed. You know, right back in here. I don't know. There's a lot of figuring I got to do here. So, but she's sitting on the body, or on the frame. Almost looks like a pickup truck without the fenders. Like I say, I got these bolted shut right now just to give it some stiffness in the back here. But, well, she's in place. And I'm guessing, from what I can gather, my placing it and putting blocks in where it's supposed to go, this is where it sits. I'm going to show you where I put the blocks. Right there's one, and the other one's on the other side. This cross member is right here. And see that hole? Oops, making it go out of focus here. That hole right over there on the edge goes down through this cross member. So that's what locates that. And so it's basically, then you've got to just find out where you want to mount that block. Jives. This piece here is held in place by that bolt hole right there, which is this one right here. And that's what holds that in place, but I don't know how the block of wood would sit underneath it, because if you can see the frame, it slopes down. So it's like, how do you put a block of wood underneath that? I don't know. We'll play with that once I get those holes drilled and I get this thing in place. This one, as I mentioned, this was the fixed one. That's the one that's already bolted in place. You can see the block of wood underneath it there, and there is a hole right below that in the frame. And that one also lines up with this hole. So with all these holes in it, one of those holes, I'm hoping will go right through that. But that mounts that in place. Now, the back, it's kind of hard to see because it's really, there's that channel that I was talking about. And it does line up somewhat. Yeah, it does line up. But it's just odd that they would fasten that on there like that. That just, I don't know, just kind of freaky. It's the same on the other side. That channel. This hole doesn't really line up too well with the frame hole. But anyway, it's setting right down on it now. You can see the slack in the rope there. But if you look at it, you look at the sides, it's kind of hard. I'm shooting into the light here. Sorry. I'm looking at the space here along the side. And then you take a look at this side. And of course it's hard because this stuff is rusted out and needs to be replaced. I got cap corners for this. But it's pretty close, really close. So, and then the truck fell down on top of that member. And let me show you what the old ones look like. The reason I say that is because the old ones are worn out. Right here, see that? That's where it was sitting on the frame. And it's the same on that side. It isn't worn as bad, but it's there. So, having this old bed, still having these pieces in place really helps. I was trying to line up these holes in the frame, but it's like, if you look at it, right there, and that little strip that runs all the way along the edge of the bed has got those holes in it. And so it fastens right there through that side thing, which secures this in place. Same way here. And it's 18 inches from there to there, and that's the same distance on the other one. And you can see there's another bolt right in between it, another bolt, and then there's a bolt that'll come up through that one too, one there, and then it bolts up underneath this piece here. So that's where we're at. Anyway, it's nice to have that thing in place. What I will do now is I'll take it off and I'm going to drill some holes in everything in this wood, and then I will mount all those cross members on. This one's already on, but we'll get that front one and that second one on, and then I want to put these channels in place too. When I get that, then I'll set the bed on it, and then we'll proceed from there. Well, we're back on the truck. I had the bed. Here's the bed. I've got the boards in it. That's what I'm trying to do right now, is get these boards situated, which I got everything in place, and I've got holes drilled through this sideboard. I'll show you. Here's my other sideboard I just did. I had rigged up a little deal to make sure that the holes, went through level. And using a drill press is so much better than a hand drill. And so doing that, I just got to take it back here and clean up the bottom side of the hole, because it kind of broke through a little bit. But I mean, it's like you can clean it up with a little chisel. But anyway, this is the thing, and been doing some scoping and looking at old videos that I had made of this truck, and what I deciphered is the front mounting holes, I actually welded shut. This is why you don't do what you do. And you can see that X. That's where I believe this front mount has got to go. I believe. I was trying to put it through this hole, but this is originally had a rivet there and there. I had to pull this piece off because it was so rusty. You can still see all the pitting and stuff on it. But anyway, I was going to run it through there. But I said, that ain't right, because that should be, not Yeah, this has got to be pretty tight. And I thought it was this hole, but I don't have one over there. But I had replaced a piece of the frame there, I think. I cut that out and welded a new piece in, so I could have inadvertently forgot to put a hole there. But I was looking back at my old videos. This is going back, I don't know, 21, whenever I started back up on this thing, and I had a picture here, and there was a hole somewhere down through here. But the problem is, you look down underneath there, there's not a whole lot of room to put a nut. There isn't any room there, so you've got to drill clear through that spot, through this cross member, and then the bolt that'll go through the block. Just drop it on the floor. Anyway, and I felt around the bottom of this cross member for a hole, and I can't find no stinking hole. So I don't know what I did. So what I've come to the conclusion is this one cross member is going to be fixed. That one. That gets molded into the side of the bed. That one is fixed. I know where that one goes. It goes right here. I had holes right here. And then there's a spot back here where that channel goes. So those 4 spots are fixed. So what I'm going to do is get all these boards put together. I will bolt everything up, and then I will pick this up again and set it on the frame. But I've got to find where this comes up through this board, because that actually will come up somewhere in here. So I've got to figure out how that's going to be tricky. But I got one on each side, and you can kind of see the holes. There is some that are bigger than that big one, but we'll see. I don't know. But anyway, that's where we're at, and I just thought I'd bring you along and show you what's going on. And like I said, once I get that one, and I'll put those channels on the back here, I'll mount those onto this piece here underneath and get those in place. They bolt in. Then I can set it on the frame, and that front piece is, well, I just got it sitting there, but it's over there on the truck. That one, then I can figure out where it goes, somehow mark it, and then I'm going to have to drill holes through the frame. Yeah, that's the only way I can do that, to mount that to the frame on the front. But then there's another one that floats. If you look at this, this is the front of the box. Okay. And I know where this one will go because of the holes in the side of the bed. These little, I don't know what you call them, things here. But the front one, you can see right up front, there's a hole. There's 2.5 inches back from the front. So this piece here will go all the way across to that one over there. And then all these things line up with the holes on this. So once you get that all bolted in place, now I know exactly where this one's at. I know where this one goes. But there's the other one in here. And if I look on that old bed, it's right there. It's 18 inches back behind it. So that's where that one's going to go. The deal is, and I can bolt that through these things, so everything, it'll be all in place, but it floats. You know, it has no mount. It gives you 4 blocks, or 6 blocks. They give you 2 big ones, and then you got 4 of these small ones. But that other piece that floats, you can see right here where in the past the old one wore right against there. So I'm guessing there's probably a block in here, but look at the angle of that. So your block is going to have to sit like that, and then drill a hole in the frame for that to sit properly. That doesn't make sense, and it isn't going to go like that. I don't know. I'm just in a quandary. Anyway, I rambled enough. I'll bring you back when I get some more. Thanks for watching. Now there's the bed fully assembled. Strips, everything is in it the way it should be. I haven't got anything fastened yet down, but like I said, I will be putting this cross member in next. That's the one that's fixed on the sides, and then I'll put that one across the front, and I can fasten that one in, and I can actually even fasten the third one in across there. So yeah, that's what we'll do. We'll just put it all together, and then I can lift it up and set it on the truck. So that's the plan. Well, we finally got it pretty much together. The bed. Got all the holes drilled all along the side there. I got tape on these cap screws to hold them in, as on my back underneath it there, putting the nuts on it. But there's a support, goes across the front. Tell you what, let me just show you firsthand. If I can get down here and my little creeper, I'll take you underneath to show you. That's the back of the bed. There's the support that is fixed. You can see the nut right, or bolt right there. That one's fixed. So this one is going to determine where this one sits, as well as the front one. You can see these pads, they move. So I can position those over the top of the blocks. And yeah, but yeah, these boards, I mean, the kit was pretty, it's a nice kit, but why? They didn't provide you with a exact boards, because the two on the side needed to be trimmed about a half an inch off each one, off the sides, and then all of them needed to be cut, I don't know, about an inch and a quarter, inch and 3/16, 3/8, something like that. But yeah, it's like, I mean, everything pretty much fits. The cross members were, the holes would line up on this side, but then I had to re-drill new holes there and there, and so I had to do that on all 3 cross members. But anyway, that's why you fit all this stuff before. So, but I've got a drill, and you know, this is, I guess, part of it. There's metal down underneath here that needs to be drilled out. I've got the board drilled out there, but right underneath that's a piece of, it's this piece. It goes down and curves out like that. So I have to drill all those out and secure that. And the rest of these will be just a big fender washer underneath there, and pinches up holds the boards together. And then on the sides here, same way. But where there's a cross member, I just put a bolt, and for now I just stuck a nut on it. I think what I'm going to get is like I'll probably put I think they give you a washer for them, 1/4 inch, but I don't know if they'll fit. But anyway, I like to get some nylock nuts. They just give you the lock washers in a plain nut. But anyway, she's coming along. So now is the big challenge. I got to get this up on top of this bed, or on top of the truck, because I've got to position. This is going to be the tricky part. I don't know exactly how to do this. Yeah, before I get too far away, I want to get those channels put in the back corners and get that mounted. But it's hard. I don't know. I'm just going to have to do a lot of figuring. You can't. Well, I'll take that back. There's a hole there and a hole right there. Huh. Okay, that's cool. Just noticed that. So I can get underneath it then. I've got a big, I think it's a 6-inch cap screw, and it goes up through there. And then I can mark my bed. When I mean the bed, I got to mark the bottom of the wood, because there is no hole for that. I have to drill it, and it comes out. I've looked at a lot of 36 beds, restored ones, and there's a bolt that comes through right in here somewhere. Some of them even have a bolt in here if you want to put a block underneath that one, but I'll explain that's going to be kind of tricky. But then this one has another hole that goes down. So obviously your frame doesn't sit right underneath the sides. So the frame, you know, if you look at it, kind of goes out. You can see how it comes out a little bit. So the front ones will be closer here. They'll be more like up in here, and then maybe like in the middle, and then closer to the edge back there. But those have got to be marked, and they've got to be precise. That is the thing. And it gets for me a little iffy, but we'll get it. That's part of the restoration, so it's exciting doing this. This stuff I can handle. It's that body work that drives me nuts. But anyway, I just bring you along for that and let you see everything, where I'm at, and now I'm going to proceed. I'm going to put those channels on the back of there, and then we're going to try positioning it on the bed of the truck, or the frame of the truck. All right. Thanks for watching. Following along. Bring you back.